Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Janelle Samora and this is Scent Talk from my closet, the fragrance closet. On this channel, we go over all things fragrance. We cover niche perfume houses. We go over layering combos. We talk about dupes and clones of original fragrances, highlight indie perfume brands. We do head-to-head wear tests like we're going to do in today's video. All things fragrance. If that's something you're interested in, go ahead and continue watching. Consider hitting that subscription button and the bell so you'll be notified to new videos. So if it is your first time on the channel, I do like to focus on one perfume house or topic at a time. Right now we are doing vanillas and gourmand fragrances. Now we've been on this topic for a hot minute, but we're going to keep going. I mean, we have so much to explore in this category, so many questions. Thank you so much. Today's video is a suggestion or a request from subscriber Shimmer Lux, so thank you so much for throwing this out there. We are reviewing KYSE Bonbons a la Vanille compared to the original INDULT TIHOTA. Now, KYSE's Bonbon a la Vanille is not, it's not marketed as a dupe or a clone of TIHOTA. It does not have the same note structure, but it's undeniably in the same family, in the same realm. They both have they both use Tahitian vanilla as their vanilla ingredient in the fragrance. So you know, they have some similarities and they have some differences. And wearing them side by side today was like, what? It's amazing when you think you know how something smells and you feel like it smells similar to something else. Unless you really wear it side by side and pay attention to it all day long and really get to know it and experience, that's when you find differences. That's when you can smell different notes popping out of the fragrance. And that's exactly what happened to me today. I was mind blown. All right, so these two fragrances, KYSE's Bonbons a la Vanille was introduced in the year 2018, where we have INDULT TIHOTA releasing in the year 2006. Now, the nose for that is Maison Francis Kirk Dijon. I do have maybe 3 other reviews on the channel featuring INDULT TIHOTA. One of those reviews is Andromeda's Moon's version of TIHOTA versus the original INDULT TIHOTA. So in that video, I went into a pretty good length as far as Tahitian vanilla itself. That is a really, really rare form of vanilla, and this is why the fragrances that have that note in them are pretty pricey. You're going to see them in the $200 range. So basically, and I'll explain it briefly one more time, the reason that it is expensive and it is hard to source is because it is the rarest form of vanilla. So Tahitian vanilla will yield, it takes years to produce. I think it's 2 to 3 years to produce, and the yield per year is only 15 tons. So those 15 tons of Tahitian vanilla go to the highest bidders, okay? After that, let me talk to you about the other vanillas. So there's all different types of vanillas. You have your Madagascar vanilla, Mexican vanilla, vanilla bean. You have all different kinds of vanilla. Those rest of the vanillas account for 2,500 tons per year. So you can check that out right there. You have 15 tons versus 2,500 tons readily available and accessible in all the other vanilla families. So it is rare and it smells amazing. Oh, it smells amazing. That's my favorite. It really, really is. So that's the deal. That's the gist of it when it comes to this Tahitian vanilla, why it's so rare and all that. Now, notes. KYSE's Bonbon a la Vanille has in it the Tahitian vanilla, Peru balsam, and skin. So skin meaning it's a musky, you know, fragrance, and the Peru balsam in here is a woody, aromatic, ambery fragrance. Okay, it's coniferous. So I'm not going to lie, I have never picked out the Peru balsam or any like woody factor. When I've worn KYSE Bonbons a la Vanille before, I've remembered that it is deep, dense, sweet vanilla, but at the same time it's got an airy quality to it, especially in the dry down. And that is the same, that is exactly how the Tahota behaves itself. It is a really, really light and airy, but sweet at the same time. So they're both feel heavy and light at the same time. However, the KYSE Bonbons a la Vanille, that one opens up very, very, it just opens up similar, heavier to me. It opens up a little heavier. So I'm going to spray the opening. I still have this on my skin, you guys. We're headed out to dinner. I did wear something else today. We're headed out to dinner. I still smell like Tahota and the KYSE Bonbons a la Vanille. It's got amazing longevity. Both of these, amazing. So the Bonbons a la Vanille, it just smells thicker, like really, really thick. Like, ooh, that is sweet stuff. The Tahota, it also comes out. Can you spray? Oh yeah. The Tahota, you get this interesting blast, and I've said it before, it is just like alcohol. Whenever I get a blast of that really thick, the alcohol that makes you cough, you know, which is interesting coming from a vanilla, I automatically know this is gonna go forever. I get that same, ooh, I can already, yes, okay. I get that same reaction from Montel's Sweet Vanilla. Same reaction. It's like a burst of alcohol at the beginning, and not like a cheap it's like a strong, like this is going to be strong type of smell. Yes, it smells vanillic, yes, but it smells slightly lighter. So the KYSE comes out smelling slightly heavier, denser, and the Tahota smells a little lighter. So for the Tahota, we have Tahitian vanilla, highest grade quality. We have muscovado, cane sugar, cream, almond milk accord, tonka bean, benzo and absolute, palo santo, white woods, white musk, and amber. So differences, main differences that I'm noticing here between the KYSE Bonbons a la Vanille and the original Tahota is the Tahota has this interesting, you know, almost, what is it? I've every single time I've worn it, I've smelled it. In the background, there's like a cinnamon, or, you know, like a pastry. And I'm realizing that that might be coming from the Palo Santo, because Palo Santo can smell like a baked apple pie. It might be that. There is something in the way background of this fragrance of Tahota. So also, Tahota to me feels like there is some, like a musk on top, or it's a layer of something. There is something underneath it and above it. You know, this gorgeous, gorgeous cookie smelling type vanilla. It is strong. It's got the craziest projection. You can fill up a room. It's got amazing sillage. When you walk by, people will smell this. They will smell it on you. And, you know, and you'll leave a trail of it. Now, that is some serious sillage. Bonbons a la Vanille doesn't have as big a sillage. I'm not even sure. Yeah, I can smell it in the room, but it's not as loud as Tahota. It really, really isn't. Now, another thing with actually with the Tahota is that sometimes later on during the day, I cannot smell it on my skin, but it comes in and out. So every now and then I'm just like, oh, where'd it go? But it's all around me. I don't know what it does. It does a little, you know, disappearing act, but I can smell it 100% of the time, just not straight up to my nose from my skin at one point during the day. So for the KYSE Bonbons a la Vanille, it's different. It doesn't, to me, feel like it has something underneath and above it. I feel like it's pretty straightforward. What you smell is what you get pretty much throughout the entire fragrance. So it is a little more linear in its wear. Is it smells just as delicious? Yes. But there's also a difference that I was so surprised to find out today. Wearing them side by side, I realized that the KYSE Bonbons a la Vanille with this Peru Balsam really, really comes out. I had never smelled this, you know, almost not pine all the way, but like a sappy something. like sap from wood that smells almost like pine, but it doesn't go as far as Christmas tree pine. It's like right before that. It smells sweet. It smells like some sort of chemical, you know. It's coniferous. It really came out today. I mean, goodness, it had never before. Tahota has none of that, and that is one of the reasons why it was heightened on this side. You know, I was like, what am I smelling? It was the Peru balsam I was able to smell today. So I've never smelled it before in all the times that I've worn it. So interesting. Yeah. All right. So Tahota dries down, really nice skin feel, musky, but they both, and then the KYSE Bonbons a la Vanille also dries down in with that skin musk type feel, but they both manage to retain that vanilla sugar cookie smell as well. Like they, at the same time, they both keep that, especially on your clothes. These fragrances are beast mode on clothes. Oh my gosh, that's so strong. KYSE Bonbons a la Vanille, it smells deeper, like much sweeter, I feel, on the clothes especially, than the Tahota. The Tahota is still going really strong over here. I can smell you know, a different lighter musk than I can smell over here, but they both have the same air to them, you know, the same feel, the same smells radiate from these two fragrances. So yeah, I would say that KYSE Bonbons a la Vanille is an amazing option to have in place of the original Tahota if you're not willing to dish out the, or cannot, the $220 for just 50 mLs of that fragrance. That is how much Tahota is going for, especially, I think it might be a little more if you buy it, if you're from the US and you buy it from Europe and get it shipped over here. I think you end up paying upwards of $250, you know, for shipping and all that. So look towards your sites of, you know, fragrances that a partner like Lucky Scent is what I'm trying to say. And I think, I'm not sure, don't quote me, but I think Crystal Fragrance as well carries Tahota. I'm not 100% on that. Okay, I will check and I'll let you guys know up here real quick, you know, after. Let's see. That was it. That was all the differences that I got. Amazing fragrance. I had an amazing fragrance day all day long. I was in vanilla heaven. Yes, I was. Both these fragrances are really great for layering. You can layer this and put vanilla in anything with these fragrances. You know, the KYSE Bonbons, I already layer that a lot, and you can also use the KYSE body butters. I have here Delicia de Marshmallow, and I just got it in my Sucero Filato. So this is cotton candy, red berries, and spun sugar. So let me tell you, speaking of cotton candy, and then of course this is marshmallow, you're set. Let me tell you, I get home and the first thing that my mother tells me, I am not even close to her. I am standing at the edge of her bed. Like, she is 3 arms lengths away, and she tells me, you smell really good. I'm like, thank you. Nobody else has said that today. Like, peoples, y'all can tell me I smell delicious. I will not take offense. I will tell you exactly what it is. I will ask you if you have a minute. I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, I think, you know, when people emphasize compliments and whatnot, I think it really has to do with your demographic area or your crowd, you know, who you're with. Let's say you're with your friends who feel comfortable telling you how you smell or asking you what you're wearing. You know, if you're in a place, or even in the workplace, you know, we recently moved buildings and we're around a lot of different new people. So I won't expect any of them to feel comfortable to tell me, hey, you just walked by and I really enjoy that smell. So maybe later on down the road, you know, when people start knowing, or we start getting to know each other. But anyway, I'm always going to keep it real. I will never come and say I got 50 compliments or, you know, 500 when I got none. But I definitely got one when I got home. My mother could smell it, and she loved it. She's like, it smells really good. And I'm like, because you really like the expensive things. So she's like, but what is it? Is it candy? I smell candy. I smell, something. And I'm like, yes, it is a grown-up candied vanilla. That is what KYSE Fragrances calls their KYSE Bonbons a la Vanille. Okay, that's exciting. I'm excited. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this review. Let me know what your experiences are with these fragrances. And I have also mentioned, I forgot to mention, that I have done a review of Tahota versus Fire at Will, which was also a really, really interesting comparison. I think that if I were to wear Fire at Will on its own, it would give me more remnants of Tahota than it did side by side. Because side by side, I got quite a bit of differences. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And we are going to keep it going. We have so much to discuss, review. Just, let me know if you are interested in anything. I will investigate. I will wear test it for you, for sure. If you want to know if something smells like this or that, I always say let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys so much. Have a blessed rest of your day, your night, or your evening, and you stay safe.